All right, good morning. It is Sunday, August 24th. It's about 10:45 in the morning, and we're at 4 Mile Creek Park. I think today I'm gonna do sort of my normal ride. It's probably gonna be 20 miles total. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna film, but we're gonna go from here to maybe Roxbury Road, that intersection, and turn around, which would be 20 miles. Um, but sometimes I change my mind, go a little bit further. Um, but I did this ride yesterday. It was really nice. In fact, I wasn't, trying to go at a fast pace or anything, but I ended up getting like my third best time doing that 20-mile run, which, I was surprised by. Don't think we're going to do that today. But anyway, we're just going to do a ride and see what the trail looks like today. Yeah, the trail has been really busy this weekend, and I mean, rightfully so. The temperature and the weather couldn't be much better. See, I just taking a spin around the trailhead. So yeah, let's see, I'll start recording on my cycling computer, and then we will get on our way. So yesterday when I did this run, um, my average speed was 18 miles an hour, and I sort of attribute that to the way back, because there just wasn't much wind to speak of. In fact, this section that we're on right now on the way back is slightly uphill, and usually there's a headwind, and so I sort of really slow down here. But yesterday, I mean, so for instance, like when I'm coming back towards the parking lot, I'm usually doing maybe between like 13 and 15 miles an hour, just, you know, sort of a normal steady pace. But yesterday, every time I was looking down at the computer, I was doing between 18 and 20, which is kind of a big difference. And this stretch right here, you know, from the parking lot to where it crosses Route 5, I don't know if it's even 2 miles. I'm gonna actually check it today. Maybe it's just about 2 miles, something like that. All right, looks like we're good here. You know, one thing is if you ride out here enough, like I do, especially on the same sections, you start recognizing the same people, and you can sort of recognize them by their wave. Like there was a man that we passed just a little bit ago, and he kind of takes his left hand off the handlebar and, you know, kind of points at you and says, "Hey." And I see that guy quite a bit. All right, let's see, do we have to stop? I don't know that we have to stop. Let's see. We're looking good from that side. Yeah, we got it. All right, so there's a group up ahead. Hopefully we can get through there. So yeah, 1.5 miles from the parking lot to where it crosses over Route 5. And usually on this 20-mile run that I do, that's one of the slower sections on the way back. But yesterday, I think that's really what made the difference. All right, so we're gonna take it kind of easy through here. On your left. Thanks, guys. All right. It's probably the neighborhood I should be living in. Perfect access to the trail. It's not far from the exit at 295. I don't know, I may have to watch for any homes in there being sold. Be almost an ideal location because I do this run so often. Good gear, man. Going uphill. Still not quite warmed up yet. Ooh. Looks like they're taking down some trees. Wow. Gosh, they had this whole section blocked off. I wonder what they're doing. It's a pretty big space to cut down all those trees. Not even sure what they could put there. I guess we'll know soon enough. So usually, well, I've noticed that when I do this run, it usually takes me just about to this point up here where this stop sign is to feel like I'm warmed up. And then you can usually hit sort of like a target speed. I don't want to chance it. We'll wait. All right. Yeah, feeling a little bit more warmed up now. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of people out today. It's kind of nice for a change. A lot of the runs that I've been doing more recently have oftentimes felt like I was the only one out here. Which is fine. You know, obviously it's a little more safe when it's just me. A little bit more safe anyway. It's like my own little racetrack. Well, it's not really little, it's 52 miles, but whatever. Rollerblading. See quite a bit of that out here. Especially this section. I don't know why it is, but I don't see as much of it like on the Jamestown side or Rockets Landing. And the ends of the trail, like, you know, Jamestown and the Richmond side, near the canal and Rockets Landing, is where you probably have the most traffic. You know, there's people walking their dogs. You know, they're kind of residential slash touristy. But yeah, like, I don't know, for some reason, this section between 4 Mile Creek and Herring Creek, I don't know, I just see a lot of people on different types of vehicles, different types of wheels. Rollerblades, recumbent bikes, time trial bikes, road bikes, mountain bikes, just about everything, gravel. All right, let's slow down for this. I feel like one of these days I'm gonna get caught off guard here. A lot of people just run right through this. You can't really see what's coming to the right. Let's see, how are we doing? That's good. All right, pick it back up. Feels like it's a touch more humid today than it was yesterday. I can sort of feel myself already starting to sweat. And actually was out here a little bit later in the day. Yesterday, I think I started around 12. I guess I'll be able to tell in the Strava app once I upload this run and compare it to yesterday, because it does give temperature, humidity. It also gives like the index, feels like temperature. It gives cloud conditions, all that good stuff. And I'm recording this video again in 360, so I'm not sure if I've, in any of these videos, I don't know if I've really explained what the experience should be like, but if you're on a mobile device, you can use gestures to slide around the video. I only bring this up because from what I've seen, there's really not a lot of 360 content on YouTube relative to everything else, right? I mean, there's quite a bit, but you know, I find that if you're just kind of browsing through your feed and whatnot, you just don't come across a lot of 360. Someone eating a banana and getting fueled. So yeah, on a mobile device. Another thing is, I'm recording in 8K resolution, which on YouTube, from what I gather, at least right now, shows up as 2160. Right, those people just came up a hill. I'm about to go down it. I really like that section. It just feels like a racetrack. I think I saw 33 miles per hour posted that time on the way down. I find it really hard to break that. I don't know if it's just wind resistance or not quite enough downhill, or just I'm not strong enough, I don't know, but 33 seems to be about my limit. I feel like I'd really have to press harder, much harder, to get past that. And that is one of the, oh, it's so bumpy right there. That is one of the faster sections of the trail. I mean, I don't know that it's the steepest gradient or anything, it's just that it's in the woods, you sort of cut down in the wind a little bit. A lot of the other gradients are sort of out in the open. I'm trying to think, there is another one that's sort of wooded, and we'll encounter it on this ride. That's another fast section. Yeah, it feels warmer today. Air's a little bit thicker. I think we have a little more of a breeze. I'm not going to be breaking any records today. Well, I'm not going to be breaking any records any day, but at least my own personal record is the only thing that's up for grabs, really. I think this might be the only bridge on the trail that doesn't have like a little ramp separating the pavement and the bridge. So it can be a little bit jarring. Oh, we're going up a hill again. All right. Let's see. But yeah, the resolution, if your internet supports it, I think the best would be to go into the options and select 2160 as the resolution. Because the video is pretty clear at that resolution. If you drop down too much, everything looks like you know, tiling, little squares. But the idea with 360 video for this sort of thing is that, you know, it's interactive. Like, you can sort of spin around the camera, you know, see if there's anything interesting off to the left or right. You know, you can look up at the sky, find an airplane going overhead. Out in the open again. Nobody behind me. a lot of time trial bikes. Good place to take a drink. So it's August 24th, but if you look at the trail, you'd think it was fall. It isn't. So I'm not sure how this is going to look when I upload it to Strava, but I just noticed that on that stretch for the past mile or so, it's relatively flat, and I was keeping a pretty steady cadence. I'm in 6th gear right now, and the speed was kind of jumping all over the place. I noticed it went from like just about 15 miles an hour to about 19. It just kept fluctuating, even though my actual speed wasn't. So I'm not sure what that is. It may have something to do with the camera that's right in front of the computer. That could be it. This guy in front of us has enormous calves. left. Yeah, the wind does feel a little bit stronger today. All right, so those were the signs for Shirley and Berkeley Plantation. They're pretty much right next to each other. All right, so This is where you turn for Shirley Plantation. And we're going to take it slow through here because there could be some very drunk people coming from the right. There's a winery back there, Upper Shirley Vineyards. So, coming up on the intersection at Roxbury, and I think what I'll probably do is stop filming just because I have a feeling my battery doesn't really have enough capacity to take us all the way back. So this should be, I haven't looked at the time, but it should be right around half an hour, I think. Maybe just over that. Yeah, so that's 4 Mile Creek to intersection at Roxbury Road, and it's just over 10 miles. It's maybe 10.3, something like that. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today. So yeah, until next time. All right, just pause here.